Hey guys, how about we get started on this test review? On this review that's located in WebAssign, when you're working on it, you're going to realize that you only have 4 chances on each question as you work through the review. So you want to be really careful regarding your attempts on each question. That's why it'd be best to watch these videos before you start your review. Also, your test will not open unless you score 75% on this review. So you want to take it seriously and you want to be careful as you're going through this review. Your test will come exactly from this review. It just won't have as many questions. So let's take a look and get started. Here's our first question. We want to solve a quadratic equation by factoring. So I'm going to get into my factoring mode, and I see that it has 3 terms, so I'm going to set up my 2 sets of parentheses. And remember, the values in the first spots have to multiply to give you the x squared. So we know it's x and x. The values in the last spot have to multiply to give you 18. Actually a negative 18. And they have to add or subtract together to give you a negative 3. So I need to find 2 numbers that multiply to give a negative 18. They add up to give me a negative 3. Well, I know 6 times 3 is 18, and if I have a negative 6 and a positive 3, that will give me a negative 3 when I add those up. So remember, once we have it factored, we're going to set each factor to 0 and solve that. So in this case, I get x equals 6 and then x equals negative 3. Read the directions carefully. It says to enter your answers as a comma-separated list. So I would write 6, I would type 6 and a negative 3. Okay, question 2 is basically what's being asked in question 1, except question 2 is in a function format. So remember, equations have solutions, functions have zeros, but they're found the same way. So here's another quadratic. Number 2 is a quadratic. So to find zeros, remember we set our function equal to 0 and solve it. So we've got 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. We're going to set that equal to 0, and I'm going to try to factor it. If it doesn't factor, I can go into the quadratic formula. I hope it factors though. These 2 must multiply to give me a 3x squared, so I'm going to go 3x and x. Now I'm going to figure out what do I multiply to get an 8, and so when I put it in here, everything is going to work out to give me that 10 in the middle. I think of 4 and 2. And I'm going to put the 4 here and the 2 there because what I just noticed is the 2 times the x would be a 2x, and the 4 times the 3 would be a 12x, and I can get a 10 out of that if the 2 is negative and the 12 is positive. So if I make the 2 negative, the next part, the 4, positive, that would give me a negative 8 on the end, and then a positive 10 in the middle. So there we go. It's factored, so let's set each factor to 0. And let's solve them. This gives me a 2/3, and this one gives me a negative 4. So we're going to write our answers as a comma-separated list. So 2/3, comma, negative 4. Now remember, if you're having trouble factoring, you can always use the quadratic formula. However, it would take a lot longer to work this problem if you did use the quadratic formula. In using the formula, your value of A would be 3, your value of B would be 10, and your value of C would be a negative 8. I'm not going to work it with the quadratic formula, but if you did use it, the quadratic formula, and you reduced and simplified, you would end up getting these exact 2 answers. All right, let's check out our next one. Okay, match the quadratic function with its graph. Well, we know from our work with functions earlier when they are the transformations. This is going left 4, down 1. So which one went left 4 and down 1? Down 1, excuse me. Looks like it would be this guy. You could also graph it on your calculator and check it out. But that one's going left 4, down 1. We are good. We want the x-intercepts for this guy. Well, x-intercepts is just another name for the zeros. Now, we could do this on our calculator, or we could do it algebraically. If I wanted to find the x-intercepts or the zeros algebraically, I would take 2x squared plus 3x minus 20, set them equal to 0. I would do some factoring, see if it factors a 2x and an x. 20 would be 4 times 5. 4 times 5, because this part's a 5x, this part's an 8x, and if the 8 is positive and the 5 is negative, I get 3x, which is what I was looking for in the middle. So negative, positive, and if I set those to 0, I would solve this one and get a 5/2, and I would solve this one and get a -4. You should notice that these two x-intercepts are occurring right here on your graph. Now notice they're wanting us to enter the answer as an ordered pair. They already gave us the parentheses, so I just need to type in 5/2, comma 0, and the other one be -4, comma 0. The -4 is right there. The 5/2 is right there. If I graphed it on my calculator, I would see the same graph. And to find the zeros or to verify them, I could go to my table and let's scroll on down. Okay, there's the -4. And if I keep on going, I should find the other one. Yep, 2.5, which is 5/2. So I can see it on the graph. I can see it in the table. And then I also found them by factoring. Okay, very similar. Let's find the x-intercepts. So they're asking us to put this in an ordered pair notation. Notice they give you the parentheses. So let's come over here. X squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Let's also look at the graph. It looks like there's one there and one there. Looks like it might be at -2, and that one looks like it might be at 4. Let's verify that. X and X, to get an 8, we multiply 4 times 2 to add up and get me a -2, a -4, and a +2. So if I set those to 0, I get x equals 4 and x equals -2, and it looks like that's where they are. So let's type these in as ordered pairs. 4, 0, -2, 0. Okay, so this next question asks us to use our graphing utility to graph the quadratic function. So go to your calculator, type in y equal x squared minus 5x plus 4, and let's check that graph out. So if you type it in, check out the graph. It looks like this. Looks like it's crossing at a -1 and a, +1 and a +4. So let's take a look at our options. +1, +4, that looks like our graph. So very easily done using our graphing calculator. Oh, we also want to state the x-intercepts. Is that right? The x-intercepts, so we want an ordered pair, and it looks like it's -1, 0, and then not -1. Why do I keep doing that? +1, 0, and 4, 0. I could verify that by just looking at my table. And there's a 1, 0, there's a 4, 0, everything matches. Very good on that. Not too bad. Okay, let's see what's happening. So let's solve this application problem. It's the path of a diver. So we're given an equation. It's quadratic because the path of that diver is a parabola. We're asked to find the maximum height. And so the maximum height just equates to finding the vertex. And we're going to go straight to our calculator to find this vertex. So go to your calculator, type that equation under y equal, graph it. I'm just going to go to Zoom 6 and graph it. And I can't yet see that vertex. It's somewhere up here. So I'm going to fix my window to make the y-axis go a little bit higher. So I'm going to make my y max to go up to, let's say, 30. Let's graph it. Okay, now I can see the vertex. Remember how we calculated the vertex? We go to second trace, that gets us to calc, and we want to choose number 4, which is the maximum. So we tell the calculator, we press enter when we're on the left side of the vertex. We scooch over to the right and press enter when we're on the right side of the vertex. Press enter again, and there is our maximum. 2.9999997 is basically 3. So our vertex is at 314. Okay, so that vertex is at 314. Okay, where is my answer blank for this one? I don't see what the answer, oh, because this is one of those that has several parts. And when I printed it, it didn't give me all parts. Okay, so if I want the maximum height of the diver, would I give the number 3 as my answer or the number 14? Very important that you know this. It's actually the 14. Because think about this vertex. That means I go over 3 and up 14. Well, the 14 represents the height. The 3 just represents how far I am. From the diver. So that answer would be 14 feet. Let's wrap this video up with this last question, problem number 8. We're given a revenue function for a pet sitting service. P is the price charged per pet in dollars. And the first thing they want us to do is calculate some function values. We want to plug in a 5, a 7, and a 9. I'm going to go to my calculator, type this in under y equals, and look at my table of values. So I already did that. I typed it under y equals. Looking at my table, it said I wanted to find values when x is 5, or in this case p, 5, 7, and 9. So I see 5 is 540, 7 is 588, and 9 is 540. Okay, so now the question is, find the price that yields a maximum revenue. To find the unit price that yields a maximum revenue and to find the maximum revenue, we need to find the vertex of this quadratic. So I'm going to my calculator. I have it typed in. I graphed it, and I want you to realize that I had to adjust my window so I could see the graph. All I did was adjust my y max to be a higher value, in this case 800. So I can see I've got a vertex right there, so let's calculate it. Okay, so I could see my picture, I could see where my vertex was, excuse me. So from the graph, we see the vertex was at 7,588. So the unit price would be $7 and the maximum revenue would be $588. That ends this session.